Hello everybody, my name is Liam Fitzpatrick. I am a senior in the College of Arts and Sciences. I'd like to quickly thank my advisor, Professor David Stolo, and the Kilachand Honors College for allowing me to undertake this unorthodox approach to a keystone, titled A Hand to High Five, A Shoulder to Cry On. Let's get started. I'd like to start off with a statistic. In the US, 1 in 12 children will lose a parent or a sibling before turning 18. I am that 1 in 12. I lost my dad when I was young, and I could sit here for an hour and tell you that social support for childhood grief is severely lacking, but I'm going to let some more numbers speak for me. There are some pretty major mental health concerns that stem from unsupported childhood grief. Things like kids being 20 times more likely to demonstrate behavioral disorders, 10 times more likely to engage in substance abuse, 9 times more likely to drop out of high school, and being 5 times more likely to die by suicide. Fortunately, some nonprofit founders came together and developed this, the Grief Camp. This combines traditional summer camp activities with targeted grief supports, bringing grief support down to a kid's level. Now, these have been extensively validated in academic literature, but there's a catch. They're highly volunteer reliant. And today I'm going to tell you about one of these grief camps, Comfort Zone. Comfort Zone is a 3-day national nonprofit that provides free of charge grief camps for kids who've lost a parent, a sibling, a step-parent, or some other significant figure. Now that's what I can tell you about Comfort Zone Camp, but I'd like to show you what Comfort Zone is. It's balloon dances, it's funny moves, it's arts and crafts, it's sports, it's more sports, it's t-shirt signing, it's bonfire celebration, and it's team building activities. This is Comfort Zone Camp. It's a fun, safe place for grieving kids to come together and find healing. The way we achieve that healing is by combining these fun activities with what are called healing circles, opportunities for licensed mental health counselors or licensed clinical social workers to sit down with a group of around 6 to 8 kids and give them a space to share their story, to build coping skills, and to find community in something that can be traditionally very isolating. But at Comfort Zone, healing is not just limited to our healing circles. It's actually integral to our volunteer partnership. The way our volunteers work at Comfort Zone is simple. It's a one-on-one, same-gendered pairing between adult mentors, big buddies, and campers, little buddies. These pairings are integral to ensuring one-on-one attention and support. One of the main challenges kids who are experiencing childhood grief face is a lack of attention. And these partnerships are essential to make sure that kids have that attention. It might not look like sharing your story, but it might. It might look like playing basketball for 3 hours at a time. It might look like doing arts and crafts inside, drinking lemonade, and not talking about anything much. What matters is that you're there and you want to help. You're providing that attention. Unfortunately, Comfort Zones run into a bit of an issue. Our male big buddy recruitment is low, and this limits access for young boys. This puts Comfort Zone in a tough managerial position. Are we going to limit the amount of boys who can come to camp because we don't have enough male big buddies? That's not fair. Are we going to limit the amount of girls who come to camp so that we can have an equitable gender balance between boys and girls? That seems even less fair. Are we going to set up a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1 same gender pairing between big buddies and little buddies? I know there are some parents in the crowd. I cannot imagine trying to chase around 3 8-year-olds at the same time. So clearly none of those solutions will work. What will work is simple. Recruit more big buddies. I'd like to give you a bit of context. Around a month and a half out of our September 2024 camp, we had 40 female littles and 60 female bigs. This is great, more than enough volunteers to meet demand. At the same time, we had 40 male littles and 20 male bigs, less than half of what was needed. This is important to me because Comfort Zone is my home. That's me as a first-time little buddy back in 2012, and this is me as a first-time big buddy back in 2023. I've been so proud to see my little buddy's growth over the past couple of years, but all through that I've been thinking, if there aren't more big buddies like Alex, my big buddy, and like me, future Liams and future my little buddies will not get the opportunity to experience the healing magic that Comfort Zone has provided. So let's talk my Keystone. The whole purpose of the Keystone was simple: recruit more volunteers for Comfort Zone, particularly young men. I did this through a couple of ways, things like volunteer fairs, leveraging my personal network, which really just means bugging my friends to come volunteer with me, and online recruitment. All of these have their strengths and cons. In particular, online recruitment allowed me to reach hundreds, if not thousands, of new people, but there are catches. A lot of these programs, it's difficult to explain Comfort Zone in a one-on-one conversation of a minute or less. In particular, I want to tell you guys about one thing I learned while I was doing this recruitment process. Volunteer recruitment is really hard. As a volunteer recruiter, you're never off the clock. There's always somebody to recruit. There's always a conference to go to. There's always a conversation to have. And this resulted in me feeling a little guilty at times about if I was doing enough for Comfort Zone, for a program that was so impactful to my life. I worried at times, and it became bordering on obsessive. There were times last semester and this semester where people important to me had to say, Liam, you got to step away from the project, and they were right. Moms usually are. But I kept thinking, if I could just recruit one more person, if I could be that link for one more person to be involved, then I would be able to do this. Then I would be fulfilling my duty to Comfort Zone Camp. And it ended up putting me in a rut, a spiral of obsession, of isolation, all the things that Comfort Zone is designed to break. So how did I break that cycle? Well, at Comfort Zone, at a young adult program. The way Comfort Zone works is, in addition to our childhood program, we also have a program offered for 18 to 25-year-olds that models the childhood program, but at a level that 18 to 25-year-olds can get. I went into this program thinking to myself, I've done Comfort Zone as a kid, I've came back and volunteered, I know what I'm doing, this is gonna be easy. And I left blown away by the healing, the support, and the understanding that I was presented with. These were people who understood what I was going through, who felt that stress and that desire to want to pay it forward, to want to be a resource for the next generation of kids who are going to experience this problem that, like I mentioned, 1 in 12 kids will experience. While I was there, I learned not only how to be a better big buddy, but I also learned that if I need to take a week off of thinking about Comfort Zone, that's fine, because these people that I was there with that weekend will be thinking about it for me. If I decide I can't hear my 100th no, I don't want to recruit anybody else, that's fine. They'll recruit for me. If I decide that I want to think and talk and write about these feelings of grief, of obsession, of despair, of loneliness, of sadness, that's fine. Comfort Zone is there to heal me too. While I was there, I made friends that I've been proud to call not only virtual pen pals, but lifelong friends. This is me down there, actually, roasting the perfect golden brown marshmallow, surrounded by my community, truly at home. So now I'd like to tell you about the Keystone Project results. Like I mentioned, my Keystone statement was very simple: recruit as many new volunteers as possible. I was hoping at the end of the project to get somewhere between 5 and 10 new volunteers to come volunteer with me. As of April 2025, I've confirmed the recruitment of 15 new volunteers, 7 of whom are young men. Now, the Keystone Project might be over, but my time with recruiting for Comfort Zone is not, especially now that I have a newfound relationship with volunteer recruitment. I'd also like to bring up this picture. These are some friends that I recruited for Comfort Zone Camp, and some of them are in the audience today. Because of the work that I and other recruiters did to bring people like them into our fold. Actually, do you remember that number I mentioned earlier? 20 little buddies to 40 big buddies? In time for our September 2024 camp, we had 43 male big buddies registered, meaning that we had more male big buddies than little buddies. Excuse me if I get emotional. As far as I am aware, this is the first time in Massachusetts Comfort Zone Camp history that we have had more male big buddies than little buddies. And it is in large part due to the sacrifice and the healing that they provided. A lot of them are here in the audience today. I'd love if you could just wave your hands quickly. Thank you. And I'd appreciate if the rest of you in the audience would give them a quick round of applause. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you all for the healing that you generated that weekend. It truly means the world to me. Now, if you would like to become a part of the applauded next time, here's an interest form where you can fill out more information about yourself, any questions you might have about Comfort Zone. By filling this out, you are not committing to volunteer with us. It just lets me know that you want to hear more about Comfort Zone than what I can stuff into a 7 or 8 minute presentation. Thank you all for listening. I hope you come away from this with a greater understanding of the work that organizations like Comfort Zone do to support childhood grief, one of the most serious problems I see in America right now. Thank you all.
Any questions?
Thank you so much. That was a beautiful presentation and really inspiring. I wonder what your thoughts might be on the gender disparity in recruitment. Why more women or women identifying people seem to be volunteering?
Yeah, this is something I thought about a lot. From anecdotally, in my perspective, I kind of see 2 reasons. Number one of the reasons I saw was a lack of time. Men who really didn't feel like they could take time away from their careers. These things happen Friday afternoons, so men who are unable to step away from work. Additionally, one of the things I noticed that was a consistent reason for no was feelings of unpreparedness. Obviously, it's a difficult ask to ask somebody to participate with Comfort Zone, chase around an 8-year-old who's just eaten 3 Laffy Taffies 1 second, then wipe his snotty nose on your sweatshirt the second, and then have a glow stick battle the next. So in particular for men, one of the things I hypothesize might be a reason for that is feelings of unpreparedness in dealing with those kinds of tough conversations around grief.
Anyone else?
Great job, Liam. So you were talking about the camps in the New England area. This is around the country they do this as well? Like how many children do they serve, and how many kind of camps do they offer throughout the U.S.?
Yeah, so we offer camps all throughout the country, Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, North Carolina. There's some in Indiana right now, California, and they're expanding out to Utah. They're really, really growing quite quickly. In terms of kids served, I'm not exactly sure. It's well within the thousands at this point. Comfort Zone's been in operation for around 25 years. In general, we have over 1,000 concurrent active volunteers, so people who have been volunteered in this camp cycle or the last. But again, we're always looking for new volunteers.
And then we're going to do this one first.
Thank you. This is a really moving presentation, and I really love your heart, Liam. I have a question with what's the age group of the males and females for the volunteers, and how could this group work with organizations in their respective states you just mentioned, like youth groups, like life groups within churches, things of that nature? I don't know what the age range of what the males have to be. What age do they have to be?
As a volunteer, you can start as soon as you're 18 and out of high school. That's actually funny enough that you say that. That's one of the most frequent recruitment pathways we see when it comes to men being involved in camp. It's usually somebody gets involved, in my case, me, and bringing in friends from, say, Kilachand Honors College, an organization that is not affiliated with Comfort Zone, but through one link ends up bringing in more people who then share more about the camp as a whole.
Yeah, that's excellent. I'm just thinking even just at the high school level, when you have seniors and a lot of students turning 18 and getting high schools involved in the local community as well and informing them, and then they can do outreach and join your group. It's an amazing group.
Yeah, absolutely. Comfort Zone, as of right now, is kind of working on a high school and a college ambassador program, a way to do what I talked about before, kind of getting your foot in the door in somewhere and then allowing it to grow naturally from there.
Hi, Liam. Thank you for the presentation. I just wanted to ask if you could explain the pin on your,
Yeah.
your jacket.
So at Comfort Zone, like most summer camps, we do things called trading pins. This is a pin that I got at our most recent Comfort Zone camp for sharing my story in front of the rest of the camp. It's an integral piece of the camp environment. Kids get pins for moments of bravery, sharing their story, showing empathy to another kid, climbing the rock wall when they're scared to do it. And even though we have to dress business professional, I wanted to make sure I had at least a little nod to Comfort Zone in the fit.
Hi. We know you don't like to be the center of attention, but the group of us who are here who did go to camp actually have a pin to give to you.
Oh, dude.
We want to give you this pin too, because we're so grateful that you included us in this and because you're so brave to do this today.
Thank you.
Thank you.